9:17 on the morning show with Jeff and Will. We are back on this fine Monday morning, and joining us as she does every Monday around this time, it is the editor-in-chief of the Rockland County Business Journal, Tina Traster. Joins us right now. Good morning, Tina. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Rockland land. I'm okay. How's everybody out there?
We're doing mighty fine this morning. Lots to talk about. Obviously, coming off the back of the Super Bowl. Were you enjoying some time with some friends? Did you make an event out of it? Did you even watch it?
Was yesterday the Super Bowl?
Well, that answers that question.
Moving on. Yeah. Not really my thing, so I know that I'll have to sit this one out.
Fair enough.
No Monday morning quarterbacking on the Super Bowl, but we can Monday morning quarterback on what happened last week.
And so we shall.
Yes. So Rockland County's been very busy this past week. The county has allocated $1.7 million to purchase 21 acres of open space, which up on in Valley Cottage, up on Old Stone Road by West Hook Mountain, and the backstory there is an interesting story. So the 21 acres it was a family up there who lives on 2 Old Stone Road by the name of Blinn. And they have been trying to subdivide and build anywhere from 2 to 4. I think at one point it was even 6 houses they had in total 27 acres. And this is a long saga that goes back, I kid you not, 17 years. And they kept, coming to the planning board and for some, subdivision, and there was always pushback, sort of from every corner, because the houses would have, interrupted the view shed on the ridge of 9W, and basically this, potentially caused flooding. There were clear-cut trees. There were all sorts of environmental reasons that had just about everybody from the county planning department to the Clarkstown planning department, and certainly to residents of Upper Nyack. This also would have impacted Camp Ramah and the Nyack High School. So, long story short, this we had covered this some time ago when they had last come back to the planning board, and it seemed like it wasn't going well for the Blinn family. So, what has happened just recently is that, as I said, the county is planning a $1.7 million purchase, and I guess the good thing about this purchase is that it also is going to reroute the long path on Hook Mountain and make it easier to traverse. So I think this is a happy news item. I think that the county has been fairly aggressive in its effort to preserve open space in these last few years. And you may recall that they recently purchased the old Depew farm, which is on Old Route 304, and preserved a 1750s farmhouse. And that was, I think, more than 10 acres, as well as some acreage that the county purchased on 101 Old Route 304 and 15 acres along South Mountain Road in New City for $1.9 million not that long ago. So I think open space, we're just increasingly developing and, taking down loads and loads and loads of trees and dealing with flooding constantly every time we have a heavy rain. So any kind of open space preservation, I say, gets an applaud. So that's one thing that the county's been up to. On a similar subject, in terms of thinking about, long-term planning, this happened last week, but I hadn't had a chance to talk about this last week, and that is that the county is giving out. The county says that it's focused on affordable housing. We hear everybody talk about that. Finally, there's a little bit of, put your money where your mouth is here in terms of four revolving loans for a total of $13.5 million was handed out about a week ago to 4 developers who collectively would add almost 450 affordable units and shore up 90 affordable senior apartments in the county. Now, 3 of these 4 projects are located in the village of Haverstraw, and 2 of these developers, we've talked about the Chair Factory and West Hab, both received $3 million a pop revolving loans, soft costs, I think they say, for development. Of course, in those 2 instances, we know, because we have talked about this here, that both of these projects are widely have a great slew of proponents from the county, the village of Haverstraw, and so many people who would like to see affordable housing in the county. But those 2 projects in the village of Haverstraw are being stymied by Haverstraw Supervisor Howard Phillips, who opposes a pilot, which is a payment in lieu of taxes plan. And this has, this has been a bump in the road for those developers. Now, whether or not they can, find a plan B or workaround, I know that particularly with the Chair Factory, this would be a complete redevelopment of the 9-acre, fallow waterfront site, and bring 308 affordable, workforce units and also units for veterans. So they're working as hard as they can to keep these projects moving forward. They have lots of support in the village of Haverstraw, and so it's only, I guess a matter of time until we see whether they pan out. There's a new development. This sort of took us by surprise, but there's a development that is proposed for Nanuet that would be, 52 units, 100% affordable senior rental project. And that developer, Regan Development Company, was given a $5 million loan to build this project at 250 South Middletown Road as I said, in Nanuet. This is south of the Main Street shopping corridor. It's not part of the TOD. It's not part of the shops at Nanuet, but it's not far. It's not far away. It's kind of at the Pearl River border, and that would bring some affordable housing, much needed affordable housing to Clarkstown. The county also, as we have reported and spoken about, has also now trying to turn the long vacant Sane building at 18 New Hempstead Road in New City also into affordable housing. So, this has been talked about. This is why it's so important for all of this $13.5 million in loans to really ignite some building of affordable housing in the county, which is desperately needed. On another economic front, and also related to the county, is last week the county gave out their annual tourism awards to 30 recipients for a total of 316 and change thousand. This has been going on for 10 years. It is also another happy event in the county, as many nonprofits and theaters and chambers and all sorts of organizations that add to our cultural landscape participate in this. They come and they get their grants. As always, the nonprofit Visit Nyack, which is a nonprofit that spreads word about Nyack beyond the county, mostly with a subway ad campaign in New York City. So they were awarded let's see, $30,000, which is sort of going back into the direction pre-pandemic. They were pulling out $50,000 in grants, and then it had lowered quite a bit, at least half. Now they sort of seem to be back in a northward direction in terms of what they're raking in. So largest prize of all of the grants, 10% really, I guess, of all of the money. And then not far behind that, large grants for Friends of Harmony Hall in Spokesburg, which does all those wonderful concerts, and the Garner Arts Center. They each got $20,000. So that's a nice event. It was actually held in a place called the Angel Nyack, which is the the first Reformed Church of Nyack, which we recently wrote about as well. Thomas Schneck and his wife have purchased that building and are planning to turn that into a cultural center for Nyack, as well as keep certain elements of the church and food kitchen. So the event was held there to show off their new space, and there was time to speak to those folks to find out, what they plan to do, what their vision is for that place, for this new cultural center, right in the heart of Nyack. So it's been rather busy this last week, as you can see.
I would. Sorry, you caught me right as something hit my throat. But yes, I would have to agree, especially in the land of, obviously, building new housing has been a big thing. We haven't heard a lot about this project in Haverstraw that you were discussing. Obviously, it seems to be a little bit of an opposite situation to what's going on over in Orangetown. We have it in our newscast surrounding the meetings about this development in Blauvelt. With in this case, in Haverstraw being the supervisor being against this, this pilot program, would the town board have a vote in this as well? Have you taken any survey as to how they feel about that plan?
Well, what we see typically out of Haverstraw is there's just sort of one voice, and that's Howard Phillips. So does anybody else on that town board have an opinion? If they do, we're not aware of it. There are different factions that are weighing in. For example, one of the other municipal entities that signs off on a pilot is the school district. And the school district has actually, and we wrote about this too, commissioned a study to learn about the impacts of pilots. Are they good? Are they, what are the, they've actually, hired a consultant. And so they're working with the developers and looking at this in a scientific way. That's not been the case out of the town of Haverstraw. That just kind of off the cuff, what we've heard is things that aren't necessarily even true about the impact of pilots. So it has been a battle, but I think that there are so many forces that want this, and there's such collective agreement that it's needed, and particularly the Chair Factory site. It's the perfect place for workforce housing, and it's an opportunity for the village and the town to recoup its losses on that property, and it's a stimulant for economic activity for the village of Haverstraw. So I know that the county supports it, the IDA supports it. I've heard that the school board is in favor. Certainly all the village officials of the village of Haverstraw have been absolute proponents for this. So this is where we are.
Well, thank you so much, Tina Traster of the Rockland County Business Journal. We do appreciate your insight on all things Rockland County business related. We hope you have a great week, a great relaxing week, obviously free of any Super Bowl, aftermath or hangover or anything like that. So we do wish you well, and we hope to speak with you next Monday in another segment from the Rockland County Business Journal. Folks out there right now, remember, you can visit their website, RCBiz, that's B-I-Z, rcbizjournal.com, or find them on Facebook or Twitter, where they tweet out all their articles as well. Tina, thank you again. Have a great week, and we will talk to you next Monday.
All right. Have a great week, everybody.
You too.